Welcome to class 10 chemistry class. The continuation of the topic mole concept and stoichiometry. Last video we discussed about Gay-Lussac's law and some numericals on that. This video we are going to learn about another law which is called as Avogadro's law. Avogadro, a scientist. Amedeo Avogadro in 1811 brought a hypothesis and he introduced the term molecule. Okay, molecule was called as compound atom by Dalton. Compound atom by Dalton theory, and which Avogadro named as molecules. So he made a clear distinction between atom and molecule. According to him, an atom is smallest particle of an element which may or may not exist independently but always take part in chemical reaction. We know whenever we write an equation we write atoms. Yes. Now molecule, he said molecule is smallest particle of an element or compound which exist independently. Okay. Now see, gases always exist in molecular form. They have the particles exist in molecules. Okay, so these molecules are made up of two or more atoms of same element or different element. For example, if I write H2, this is a gas, hydrogen, and molecule of hydrogen made up of two atoms of hydrogen, same atoms of the element. Okay, now O2, this is also same kind of atoms. But if I write CO2, this is also a gas and this is a molecule of this gas which has two different types of elements and altogether three atoms. So these are molecules. Now when we come to this kind of gases which are called as molecules, which are called as elemental gases, elemental molecules. Okay. So these elemental molecules, so the number of atoms present in one molecule is called its atomicity. Okay. So if I am writing H2, okay. So in one molecule of hydrogen there are two atoms. So what is the atomicity of hydrogen? Is 1. If I write O3, then it is 2. Okay. If I write O3, then it is 3. So the number of atoms per molecule, okay, for this elemental gaseous molecules is called as atomicity, which was done in lower classes also. So let us see what is Avogadro's law. According to Avogadro, equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. So what is Avogadro's law? Equal volumes of all gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. This is the law. Equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. The condition is the temperature and pressure condition should not change. The temperature and pressure should be same. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Example, if you take 1 liter of hydrogen, okay, and 1 liter nitrogen, similar conditions of temperature, pressure, same or similar conditions of temperature and pressure. Okay, let us suppose similar conditions of temperature and pressure. 1 liter of hydrogen contains N molecules. Then 1 liter of nitrogen at the same conditions of temperature and pressure will also contain N molecules. Or any other gas, XYZ, any gas, 1 liter of any other gas at the same condition of temperature and pressure will contain N molecule. This is what Avogadro's law. Equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Okay, let us take one more example. If we write N2 plus H2 is equal to 2NH3. This is synthesis of ammonia. 1 volume of nitrogen combines with 3 volume. If you think according to Gay-Lussac's law, this is 1 volume, 3 volume and 2 volumes of ammonia produced. 1 volume of nitrogen combines with 3 volumes of hydrogen and gives 2 volumes of ammonia. Now let us say, now these are not equal, but if we take 1 volume contains N molecules, for example, then 3 volumes will contain 3N molecules. Okay, and 2 volumes will contain 2N molecules. Clear? 1 volume, N molecule. Okay, so here 3 volumes are there. So 3N, 2 volumes, so 2N molecule. Otherwise, if we write in numbers, if we say N is equal to 1, so then 1 volume contains 1 molecule, then 3N will contain how many? 3 molecules. So 2N will become 2 molecules. Okay, this is how Avogadro's law is applicable when equal volumes of all the gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Okay, now let us see some more terms. Relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass, which is also written as RAM. This was there in 9th standard. Okay, you studied this in 9th standard. Relative molecular mass, which can be written as RMM. Okay, let us see these terms. This is just a revision of your 9th standard stuff. Okay, now first let us talk about atomic mass or molecular mass. To get atomic mass or molecular mass, it's not very easy to get one atom or molecule, pick it and put on a weighing machine and get its weight, because these are invisible. Okay, and getting that smallest particle and weighing is almost impossible. So directly we cannot get mass of an atom or mass of a molecule. So earlier what was done, some indirect methods were used. Okay, and it was found that atomic mass of hydrogen was found 1.6735 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. Okay, and atomic mass of oxygen was found 26.454 into 10 to the power minus 24 grams. Now look at these numbers. These numbers, if you look at these exponents, minus 24, these are very, very small numbers and very inconvenient to express mass, atomic mass or molecular mass in this form. So their research was started to get some lightest atom or the unit mass atom with which we can compare mass of other atoms or molecules and get the molecular mass or atomic mass. So in which what is done? Mass of an atom or molecule was compared or related with mass of a lightest atom. So instead of calling it as atomic mass or molecular mass, it can be called as relative mass, either relative atomic mass or relative molecular mass, depending upon mass of which particle we are finding. Okay. Now let us see how can we do that. So in that way, it was found that hydrogen is the lightest atom or lightest element. Hydrogen atom was the lightest one which was naturally occurring. Okay. So comparison was started that how many times any other atom of an element or molecule was heavier than one atom of hydrogen. Okay. It was thinking that hydrogen is lightest and it is 1. But later it was found that hydrogen has 3 isotopes: hydrogen 1, protium, deuterium and tritium. Okay. Now average atomic mass of this was coming 1.008. Now 1.008 is not very convenient number to compare with. So it was discarded and again search was done to get some other unit mass. Okay. And later it was found that mass of an atom of carbon is 12 grams. Which carbon? Carbon 612 isotope. Okay. An atom of carbon 612 isotope weighs 12 grams. It was found and then comparison was done with 1/12 of 12. Okay. Or 1/12 of an atom, mass of an atom of carbon 612. Okay. So in this way the comparison was done and atomic mass or molecular mass was formed, and they are called as relative atomic mass or relative molecular mass. Atomic mass unit, AMU. Now since atomic mass is a comparison, okay, so there would be a value unit for this value, but it is written in AMU, which is only a number. Okay, it's not a unit. 1/12 the mass of an isotope of carbon atom 612 is called atomic mass or mass unit. Okay, so 1/12 the mass of an isotope carbon 612. If you take one atom of carbon 612, okay, and 1/12 of that atom is called as atomic mass unit. Now let us define relative atomic mass, RAM, relative atomic mass. As we discussed, relative atomic mass was found by comparing with one atom of hydrogen when it was taken as unit mass, or 1/12 of an atom of carbon. Okay. So definition with respect to hydrogen. This is with respect to. So first we will define relative atomic mass with respect to hydrogen. Now relative atomic mass with respect to hydrogen is what? This is a number which tells how many times an atom of an element is heavier than one atom of hydrogen whose mass is taken as a unit. Okay? How many times an atom of an element is heavier than one atom of hydrogen whose mass or weight is taken as unit. Okay, so we can write a formula: relative atomic mass is equal to mass of one atom of an element upon mass of one atom of hydrogen taken as unit. So this is what? Relative atomic mass with respect to hydrogen. Mass of one atom of an element upon mass of one atom of hydrogen taken as unity. provided it is taken as 1, not 1.008. So this is how relative atomic mass can be calculated with respect to hydrogen. The second one is definition of relative atomic mass with respect to carbon. Which carbon? 6, 12. Okay. How can you define this? It is a number that tells how many times an atom of an element, see, starting part is same, how many times an atom of an element is heavier than 1/12 of an atom of carbon 612. Here, one atom of hydrogen, there 1/12 of carbon atom. So, relative atomic mass with respect to carbon is what? Same way, mass of one atom of an element upon mass of 1/12 of an atom of carbon. Which carbon? 6. You can put in a square bracket or just you leave that carbon, no problem, 6. So this is what relative atomic mass with respect to carbon. Mass of one atom of an element upon mass of 1/12 of an atom of carbon 612. So this is what definition of relative atomic mass. Similarly, you can define relative molecular mass also. Before doing that, we will see what is gram atomic mass. GAM, gram atomic mass. See, as I told, relative atomic mass, relative molecular mass will not have any unit because it is a comparison. Okay, but for convenience, if we are expressing relative atomic mass in grams, then it is known as gram atomic mass. For example, if we say the relative atomic mass of carbon is 12 AMU, okay, so its gram atomic mass will be 12 grams. That's it. So the number will be same. This is only for understanding or for some calculation. So this is called as gram atomic mass. Okay. After this, we will see what is relative molecular mass, and keeping this way, there is slight change in this. That's it. Okay. So relative molecular mass. Okay. Mass of a molecule. Molecule will be of a substance. Okay. So definition with respect to hydrogen once again. So here, first understand the definition. It is a number that tells how many times one molecule of a substance is heavier than one atom of hydrogen whose mass is taken as unit. See, we are comparing with one atom of hydrogen only. If atom of an element is compared, then it is atomic mass. Molecule of a compound or a substance is compared, then it is molecular mass. So how many times one molecule of a substance is heavier than one atom of hydrogen whose mass is taken as unit? So what will be relative molecular mass? RMM. We can change this for that. Mass of one molecule of a substance. Only I have to change over here. Mass of one molecule of a substance. Okay. Upon mass of one atom of hydrogen taken as unit. This is same. Only this one is changing. Okay. So mass of one molecule of a substance upon mass of one atom of hydrogen taken as unity. Now with respect to carbon, relative molecular mass will be mass of, again here, one molecule of a substance. Okay, let us first define with respect to carbon. This is a number that is how many times one molecule of a substance is heavier than 1/12 of an atom of carbon 612. Okay. So RMM or relative molecular mass is equal to mass of one molecule of a substance upon mass of 1/12 of an atom of carbon 612. Again, relative molecular mass, if we express in grams, it will be called as gram molecular mass, which can be written as GMM. GMM is gram molecular mass. If relative molecular mass is expressed in grams, then it will be called as gram molecular mass. For example, molecular mass, relative molecular mass of oxygen is 32 AMU. So its gram molecular mass will be 32 grams. Okay. Now here you have to understand one thing, that when we are saying that molecular mass, relative atomic mass of oxygen is 16 AMU, gram atomic mass is 16 grams, and gram molecular mass is 32 grams, it doesn't mean that one atom of oxygen weighs 16 grams or one molecule of oxygen weighs 32 grams. We are not weighing one single atom or molecule. This is comparisons. So that 16 times heavier than one atom of hydrogen or 1/12 of carbon, 32 times heavier. So this is comparison. So this is all about relative atomic mass, relative molecular mass, gram molecular mass and gram atomic mass. Gram molecular mass is mass, relative molecular mass expressed in grams. Okay. Another term is gram molecule. So gram molecular mass also called as gram molecule. Okay. Sometimes in the numericals or multiple choice you get what is how the mass of 1 gram molecule of oxygen, or so this is nothing but gram molecule means it's gram molecular mass. Okay. Now we will say gram molecular volume, GMV. Okay. So what is gram molecular volume? The volume occupied by 1 gram molecule of a dry gas at STP is called gram molecular volume. Okay. So 1 gram molecule, that means its molecular mass, okay, of a dry gas, whatever volume it occupies at STP. You know what is STP? Standard temperature and pressure. So volume occupied by 1 gram molecule of a dry gas at STP. Okay. Now what is the value? If it is written, it is found that at STP 1 gram molecule of any gas, STP because the temperature and conditions are, temperature pressure conditions are same, any gas occupies 22.4 liters, or this can be also written as 22.4 decimeter cube. Okay. So this is gram molecular volume. If you write in ml or cubic centimeter, 22,400 ml or cubic centimeter. So this is gram molecular volume. In the numerical, you have to use the standard value according to the required unit. Then comes another term, Avogadro's number. What is Avogadro's number? This is a numerical value, okay, which you have to substitute in the numericals. This is the number of atoms present in 12 grams of carbon 612 is called as Avogadro number. Okay. Avogadro number value is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. So this is the number. You have to remember what is the value of Avogadro number. But in the numericals for your 10th standard ICSE, you can write 6 into 10 to the power 23 only in the numericals while doing the calculations. But if the question is what is Avogadro number, then you have to write this completely. Now let us understand the term mole. Now the term mole has come from this mole concept. Okay. So what is mole? See, it is practically impossible to get one particle, and that particle may be an atom or a molecule or ion. So it's not easy, or practically it's not possible to get one particle. So a bulk or a cluster or collection of particles can be obtained or can be referred. So this is named as mole. Mole, the word mole means actually collection. It is a bulk particle. Okay, so this is bulk amount of matter in which a number of particles will be there. So there will be a definite number of particles. Okay, one mole contains a definite number of particles, and these particles may be atoms or molecules or ions. We can use this term mole for anything. So let us see what is definition of mole. See, a mole is the amount of substance which contains same number of units as the number of atoms in 12 grams of carbon. So let us understand. A mole is amount of substance. Let us suppose this I am saying as a mole. Okay, which contains same number of units. Now units means atoms, molecules, ions. Okay, anything. As the number of atoms in 12 gram of carbon. Now just before this we studied about Avogadro number. What is Avogadro number? Number of atom present in 12 grams of carbon. So 12 grams of carbon contains, what is the number of atoms present in 12 grams of carbon? Avogadro number. Okay, so this is definition of mole. So we can also say that mole is the mass which contains Avogadro number of particles. So 1 mole of any particles, 1 mole of any substance will contain Avogadro number of particles 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles. Particles means, let us suppose I am saying 1 mole of atom. Yes, so it will contain 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. If I say 1 mole of molecules, so these many molecules. 1 mole of ions, then these many ions. Positive ions will be separate, negative ion will be separate. So 1 mole is equal to these many particles. Some examples, okay, to understand the relation between mole and Avogadro number and gram atomic mass or molecular mass. So let us take 1 mole of atoms. As I said, mole means a quantity which can be the number of atoms or molecules or any ions. Okay, so let us start with atoms. A mole of atoms. A mole of atoms, what will be Avogadro number? It will contain Avogadro number of atoms. Okay, so a mole of atoms will contain Avogadro number of atoms, and mass will be equal to gram atomic mass. Okay, take one example, then you will understand better. 1 mole of nitrogen atoms. Okay, so nitrogen atoms we are taking, 1 mole of nitrogen atoms. So how many atoms will be there? 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. So 1 mole of nitrogen atoms will contain Avogadro number of atoms, and mass will be equal to its atomic mass, gram atomic mass. What is atomic mass of nitrogen? It is 14 grams, so it is gram atomic mass. If I say another example, 1 mole of sodium atoms, it will contain 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of sodium, of nitrogen here. Okay, so what will be the mass? 23 grams. Atomic mass of sodium is 23, so it will weigh 23, or mass will be, gram atomic mass will be 23 grams. Another example we say we have done with atoms. Now we will see mole of molecules, another kind of particles, mole of molecules. It will also contain Avogadro's number of molecules. Okay, and its mass will be equal to gram molecular mass. Okay, so let us take an example. 1 mole of nitrogen molecule. So 1 mole of nitrogen molecule will contain 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of nitrogen. Okay, and it will weigh, or its gram molecular mass will be 28 grams. If 1 mole of carbon dioxide gas, if we take, it will contain 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of carbon dioxide, okay, of CO2. And what will be its gram molecular mass? CO2, C is 12, oxygen 32, 12 plus 32, 44 grams. So this is how we can explain the term mole or relate term mole, Avogadro number and mass when it is a mole of atoms, mole of molecules. Now let us see a mole of an ionic compound. Okay, as I told you, mole can be of any particles, okay, ionic compound. Then it will have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 formula unit. Whenever we write ionic compound, we don't call it as molecule, we call it as formula unit. What are the examples of ionic compound? Let us take 1 mole of NaCl, which is an ionic compound. So it will contain 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 NaCl units, formula units. Okay. Now individually, if you see, if it ionize it, it gives Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. So individually we can write 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 Na plus ions and 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 Cl minus ions. Okay, so this is how we write mole of an ionic compound in the form of formula unit. If it breaks down into ions, then each ion will have 1 mole. Okay, another example we can take of 1 mole of MgCl2. Okay, now here this MgCl2 formula unit, so it will contain 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 MgCl2 units. Okay, together. If ionizes, it will give Mg2 plus ion cation and 2 anions, same anion but 2 units, 2 Cl minus. So it will have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 Mg2 plus ions and 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 2 into, okay, Cl minus ions. Because Cl2 here, so Cl minus will be double, so it will be double of Avogadro number. If you take another example where more number of ions are there, like third one, I am taking AlC, Cl3, 1 mole of AlC3, aluminum chloride, AlCl3, it will contain 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 AlCl3 units. Okay, 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 Al3 plus ions and 3 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 Cl minus. So this is very simple. So the number of ions, each kind of ion will have Avogadro number of ion, value equal to Avogadro number. Now mole number or number of moles. What is mole number of moles? How many times 1 gram molecular mass comes in certain mass of a substance in grams. See, looking at this, it looks complicated. Let us take some simple example. If you are given some mass of a substance and asked to find how many moles of that substance is there, you should know its gram molecular mass. For example, let us take simple example NaOH. Its GMM is 40. If you calculate, it will come 40. Since it is GMM, I will write G over here. Now, this will be equal to 1 mole. We know 1 gram molecular mass is equal to 1 mole. If you are given with 200 grams of NaOH and asked to find how many moles are there, then what you will do, divide it by 40 and you will get 5 moles. That's it. So given mass, divide by gram molecular mass and you will get number of moles. So what is the formula for number of moles? Mass of the substance in grams divided by gram molecular mass of the substance. Let us change it with respect to mass of the substance in gram. Let us see the relation between all the terms. Mass of the substance in grams is equal to number of moles into gram molecular mass. Same formula we have changed with respect to mass of the substance. Now, gram molecular mass of a gas is equal to its gram molecular volume. We know 1 gram molecule of a gas at STP occupies 22.4 decimeter cube, which is called as gram molecular volume. Okay. So we can write volume of the gas at STP is equal to number of moles into 22.4 decimeter cube. So 1 mole of a gas at STP occupies 22.4 decimeter cube. That is standard. So whatever number of moles, whether it is 2 moles or 0.5 moles, you have to take the given number, multiply, and you will get volume of the gas at STP.